Okay, so not long after I bought those three little Villiers engines, I've ended up with another, except for this time it's fitted to a Wriggley Auto truck. These were made in the 1950s, 60s, 70s, I think, around that era. And this one is quite a nice little original one. Ignore all the crud that's in the back, that's me filling it up with random bits and bobs, clearing out. But yeah, it's I bought it at an auction on Sunday, just gone, and I've had a little bit of a play with it. I've found a few little things that need doing, but the overall plan for this is that we're going to restore it. So we're going to strip all the paint back, redeck the back, respray it, get it all looking proper smart and all redone. I was going to take the engine apart and rebuild that in a fashion, essentially. Take the head off, put new gaskets in, take the internals out, maybe new rings and stuff. But I actually did a video on this on the day I bought it, but the video that I took prior, for some reason, just will not upload to YouTube. So I've been doing another one. Back then, I hadn't had it running. I had put a bit of petrol down the plug hole and had it firing, but not had it running. Since then, I had a little bit of a play with it last night. I put on a new HT lead because it was just a little terminal. I found that the spark plug that it originally had was too long, and every time it got turned over for the first time, it would hit the electrode tip back up and it would close the gap, so it wouldn't run for anything more than one fire. I took the carburetor off. Like I say, it's been a week pretty much. So I took the carb off and I put that through the ultrasonic cleaner because it had been filled with water. Over time it must have been sat out for a while because the inside of the tank is rusty as anything. So I took the carb off, put that through the ultrasonic cleaner, managed to save the gaskets, which was good. And then last night I put a bit of fuel down the fuel pipe, not through the tank, and managed to get it going, which is really good. And it's a strong little engine. It's actually got really good compression, and it starts very easily, so I'm quite reluctant to actually delve too deep into the engine itself. So what I'll probably do is I will probably blank off the carb, exhaust, spark plug, and any means of which we can get anything into the engine that we don't want, so like the breather and stuff, and then I'll probably sandblast it and repaint it in a semi-disassembled state, rather than taking it apart, because I'm very much of the understanding, if it's not broke, don't fix it. So the engine itself is quite strong. I've got a nicer plug than this little Chinese thing to go in, but last night was all that I had that fitted. So basically with this machine here, we've got a handbrake on the side that needs fixing because it works, the brake works really well, but the lock doesn't work on the ratchet, so we need to fix that. You've got a starting lever, and this isn't engaged at the moment, but you use this to crank over the engine through the gearbox, and that's so you don't have to use a rope on the pulley. And then you've got your gear lever and your clutch. Here's your throttle. Now that was, since I took the carburetor off, it's not staying in a fixed state throttle position, so I need to adjust that again, but you know, that's how you would adjust it, and it would stay in its position. And so this is your clutch, and you drop that in there, like that, and that means that everything is disengaged bar the cranking lever. You have to get it on the right point of compression. There we go. And yeah, it starts up and runs really nice. A few things I noticed and I had to adjust and fix up before it would drive was the cable for the clutch. I'm going to get a new one. As you can see, someone's used an old electrical connector. And basically what it was when I first got it, I thought that the gearbox had broken, because when it was disengaged, the clutch, this cranking lever wasn't engaging whatsoever, but when that came off, it did engage. So I just adjusted it, put it back on, and sure enough it does work again. It just has to be in the right position. It sounds silly, but I'm not too sure how many gears it's got. It's either got 2 or 3. It stands to reason if it had 3, because most of the little Albion gearboxes did have 3. There's no reverse gear because the engine itself, all you do is while you're driving, spin it around, flop the handlebars over, and then you're going in reverse. And then spin it back around, up or down, and you're going forward again. The whole thing only measures about 7 foot by 3 and a bit foot, so it's not a very big truck. It's nice and easy to move around, which is good, and you know, it's going to be a really fun little product, I think. I'm going to get some new tyres, new wood, fresh paint, and probably a new seat as well, because that's rotten out a little bit. But yeah, it's going to be really fun, and there's going to probably be a fair few parts to it, so keep an eye out for the upcoming videos on this. There may even be another one out today, depending on what I get done. I'm probably going to take this fuel tank off and put it in the electrolysis tank, strip the rust out from inside it and see if it's any good after. I've got one of the villiers from the other video, the tank would fit, so I'm half tempted just to see it run properly off its own fuel and everything, is to rig up a different tank, so it might have a green tank for a little while. I'm not too worried as I've got 3 of those engines, so if I clean this tank up it can always be repainted and put on the other one or swap back in, but we'll see. I want to keep it as original as can, i.e. parts wise, but like I say, it will be fully restored. So yeah, that's it for now. I hope you've enjoyed this little video, and I look forward to seeing you in the next. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to leave a like, a comment and subscribe.